Welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast with Core 4 Complete Fitness. Your episode is starting in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, peoples. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day so far. Welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast. Before we get going in today's topic, could you guys please do us a favor? It's the only thing that we ask of you, beg of you, plead of you. If you're watching or listening to us, there's a subscribe button either on iTunes, on Spotify, it's on YouTube, it's on Audible, pretty much all the streaming networks, whatever your platform of choice is. If you could subscribe to the podcast, it'll mean the world to us. That way we can keep cranking these things out, and you'll get notified in real time whenever a new one drops. So that way you don't have to search back weeks and weeks and weeks if you missed an episode, and it'll help us keep on growing the podcast through you guys. And then share it with somebody. If there's somebody that you know needs help getting in shape, or they're stuck, or they've been asking you questions, or you don't know who to turn to or what direction to steer them to, share this baby. Share it on social media. You can just copy and paste the link, send it in a text message, and we can keep helping everybody out along the way. Now, today, we're getting into a busy 2-month stretch where, got a sticky note on my thing I just realized all morning, where we got Halloween next week, and then comes Thanksgiving, and then comes the biggest shopping holiday of the year on Black Friday. And then we have Christmas, and then we have New Year's, and this is the time of year where people tend to get a bit chaotic, and naturally so. People are busy, they got stuff going on, they got holidays, they got families to see and all that stuff, and usually our day-to-day or week-to-week regimen gets broken. So we're going to talk today about basically kind of like my holy Bible that I go by, that if it's a crazy week, if it's a normal week, if shit seems like it's hitting the fan and I'm like, oh my God, I got a crazy week. These are the benchmarks that I make sure that I hit every single week to make sure that I keep my trajectory going in the right path. And for a lot of people, oddly enough, like Monday through Friday, we're usually very good, but the weekends, when we have no schedule, no routine, and all this free time, are where people begin to fall apart, right? They eat whatever they want for breakfast, they go out to lunch, they go out to dinner, they're skipping workouts, they're skipping staying active, and everything starts to spiral over this 2-day period. Same thing happens around holidays, but despite what the world throws at you guys, these are kind of my personal benchmarks, Evan's personal benchmarks to hit over the course of the week. So that way, no matter if it's a crazy week, a good week, or bad week, everything keeps moving in the right direction. Now, goal of this, guys, is to avoid kind of that mentality that we've talked about in the past, where it's either 100% 2 feet in or 100% 2 feet out. It's either I'm going to the gym 4 or 5 days a week and I'm eating clean, or, oh my God, this is a completely crazy week. I can't eat right. I can't go to the gym at all. And then you're constantly like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. So if you can hit kind of these little bullet points, despite what the week throws at you, it'll help you keep on track. So rule number 1 is no matter what the week throws, I have to hit at least 3 workouts during the course of a week. Now, normally I get in probably 5. Saturday's a rest day, and now we play hockey on Sundays. So I have a little buffer in between hockey for my muscles to feel good. But if it's a crazy week and I'm like, okay, I got this going on, or the kids are sick, or we got to pick them up from school, or whatever's going on, I know, okay, I have to get at least 3 workouts in. That way, come the following Monday, I'm like, oh my God, my arms are sore, my legs are sore, my abs are sore, my cardio isn't what it's been. So at least 3 workouts a week. Despite what it throws at you, it can be a short 30, 20-minute workout even. Doesn't have to be an hour in the gym, but at least 3 workouts a week no matter what. You can certainly exceed that, go 4, 5, and 6 if you want to, but that golden number, nothing less than 3 is acceptable. You want to get at least 3, and you can kind of tack on more days. Obviously, the more days you exercise, the better your results are going to be. But 3 is the magic number to hit. The other thing, and mind you guys, these are all kind of the lowest hanging fruit, the easiest things that you can do in a chaotic week or a crazy week to keep you on par. So that's rule number 1, I got to hit at least 3 workouts. Rule number 2, water. This is the, I want to say easiest but hardest thing for people to get their brains around. You can do it when you're sitting on the couch. You can do it when you're watching Netflix. You can do it when you're going for a walk. You can do it when you're driving through in the car. There is literally no reason why you shouldn't be able to get your water in every single day. You can do it in any activity. You can do it at work. All you got to do is pick up your little cup and just take a sip of it. Now, I try to get at least half my body weight in ounces of water a day. Now, again, just like with the workouts, you can certainly exceed that if you want to. Don't have to, but my minimum and easiest way for me to do it, I've told you on the podcast before, but I think like this Stanley Cup is 40 ounces. So I know by day's end, I have to have at least 3 of these down. I usually get 4 of them, sometimes 4.5, but I know by day's end, I have to drink 3 of these Stanley Cups full of water. It makes it super duper easy. Otherwise, if you're going by the water bottles, you don't know, did I have 6? Did I have 7? You got to keep running out to the garage or the fridge, grabbing a new one every 5-10 minutes, and it's like the out of sight, out of mind thing. So make sure this is nearby at all times. Carry it with you at all times. And again, half your body weight in ounces of water a day. You can go beyond that. No, that doesn't include coffee. No, it doesn't include energy drinks. No, it doesn't include pop. No, it doesn't include juice. All that stuff. Water is water is water. Keeps your metabolism nice and high. Keeps your energy good all day. Keeps your brain sharp. Makes your workouts better. So at least half your weight in body. At least half your weight in. At least half your body weight in ounces of water a day. The third one, my third biggie, is protein must be in every single meal that I eat. So again, no matter crazy day, good day, bad day, before I go into the cupboard and I have a handful of goldfish crackers from my kids, or I want to grab a fruit snack or whatever it is, I have that little kind of birdie in my head that's like, what's the protein? What's the protein? What's the protein? And if there isn't any protein, let's say you have a salad, make sure to add it in there. Reason being, think of it this way, if you're only getting in 3 workouts, maybe you're used to getting 4 and 5, right? Your body's going to be looking for some fuel to repair it. So if you're not getting in the protein that it needs, you're probably going to be filling up on junk, plus you're missing workouts, plus you're not getting your water in, and you can see how everything begins to spiral out of control. So those are my 3 baseline guys that I always try to hit. I can usually do it 99% of the time, but despite the crazy weeks, despite what's going on in your life, if you can go in the back of your mind, okay, what are my 3 workouts that I'm going to get in this week? Maybe you got a vacation coming up. Maybe it's a holiday. I got to make sure that I have my water, and I got to make sure I have probably at least 20 to 25 grams of protein for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. Boom, cut and dry, easy peasy. Anybody can adapt to it, and that'll keep you on track long term.
Woo!
Coming in with the heat today, baby.
That was
Internet's
a lot
broken,
of
so just instantly pissed off right before the podcast.
I like this topic because it is totally subjective to each individual. And I base mine off of mentally how I feel, right? So that's nowadays why I work out. Yeah, obviously you work out to be healthy, but I work out to make sure I'm feeling good. If I wake up and I know I got a lot to do, I know I'm not going to be sharp. I'm not going to be who I want to be unless I get my workout in. So I work out. So that is the driving factor for me. On crazy weeks when it gets haywire, it's very simple at this point. I don't know if it's because it's been such a routine in my life for the last, 15 years, or if it's just the way I am. I don't know. But when weeks get chaotic, I can quickly tell when I need to get a workout in. I can go, okay, this is going to be, and we talked about on the last podcast a little about that vacation I went on. And I was just like 2 days in to the vacation, I was like, I don't feel right. I need to work out. So that is my driving force. I don't give myself, I got to do 3, I got to do 4, like you do per se, but I don't let myself miss more than 2 days in a row. So it ends up being
another good golden rule right there. Never 2 in a row.
It ends up being the same thing. And the reason is because every day just gets exponentially harder. I can handle missing a day, then that workout isn't the hardest thing to do that day after a rest day. After 2 days, Saturday, Sunday off, Monday is always the hardest day to kind of get that wheel rolling again, get everything in motion again. After 3 days, it multiplies by like 10 to me. It's easy to go, oh God, I'm just not going to do it. And then that 4 days,
I'll start next week.
Then it's even harder, right? So my mandatory, regardless of the chaos, is no more than 2 days in a row without working out. Now, the thing is that is different for me and different for everybody is what do you qualify as a workout? I hurt my back a couple of weeks ago, and so I did a weighted vest 3-mile walk. Now, I was able to walk with this back injury. It was sitting for a long time or laying and then switching from sitting or standing, or vice versa. That's what bothered it. So once I was up on my feet, walking was good. So I was able to do that. I could not run because of the jostle and stuff like that at all, but I could walk pretty comfortably. So I added a weight vest. I have 30 pounds and I walked for 3 miles. And then when I came back to the garage here, I did some bicep curls and I was able to do some air squats after I walked. I was not able to do air squats before. So I did 21, I did 45 of them total. I did 21, 15, and then 9 split out with the bicep curl. And that was my workout. That qualified for a workout that got me going, and that was enough for me to kind of get the endorphins and dopamine. This was not an intense workout. I wasn't pushing pace. I wasn't trying to lift heavy. I wasn't doing anything like that. I just did it. And it really was important to just keep me moving. Had I not done that workout, my back healing process, I bet, would have slowed down. It would have taken an extra day or two to feel good. And then B, my headspace would have been rough. I would have not had a good, I don't remember what day of the week that was. Let's say that was a Friday. I would not have had a good Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. So it just bridged the gap, right? It was just enough to not go, because I obviously did not work out the day that I hurt my back. I did not work out the day after I hurt my back, but I was on my feet, walked around a lot, coached in the morning. So I was really conscious of moving, and that qualified for me. But that's the reason I'm harping on it is it's a mandatory. There wasn't a debate on, I'm going to. Now, if I hurt my back so bad that I could not move, that would be different. But it was, I was very realistic with, can I do something without making it worse? It actually is going to make me feel better. I got to do it. And it was just kind of the no question, because it's the line in the sand. No more than 2 days off, yada, yada, yada. That is my biggest one, I'd say. The other stuff changes as I go. I definitely focus on water every single day. Is there a day on a weekend where, you wake up and you maybe don't have as much, you have coffee, and then you go to breakfast, and so you just have coffee there, and the next thing you know, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you realize I haven't really had that much water today. Of course it happens, but never on purpose. So I would say, water is one of those other non-negotiables. But that's just because, again, I don't feel right when I don't drink it. I can noticeably tell the setbacks. I feel weirder. I feel tired. I feel sluggish. I feel jittery from my coffee. My energy is lower. And once you connect it and relate it to those things, it's easy to do it. It's harder to avoid than it is to do. Just like the workout. It would have been harder to not work out that day than to put the vest on and get walking that day. And
part of it too, like coming from like the injury side of it, that game that we played where we only had 5 guys, the next day my knee was freaking killing me.
Oh, really?
So I wore a knee brace for 2 days. Of course, the Monday after was a leg workout, and I was like, that ain't happening. But the next day I was like, okay, what can I do? I can do an upper body workout. I can do abs. Maybe I can't do cardio, or I got to give my knee a break. Then I'll do X, Y, and Z. So there's always ways, like you said, even though it wasn't 100% workout, I had to take a leg day off. But then, okay, if I can go 80% on Tuesday, 80% on Thursday, 80% on Friday, that's way better than having to, again, like you said, take 2 days off, and then I'm beating myself up for it on Wednesday. Or I'm like, I got to cram these 3 workouts back to back to back because my 3-day-a-week rule. Sometimes you have to listen to your body. And I know with people, when they have a goal or a mission and they're seeing results and they're like, I worked so hard to build up this routine. And then this thing came up out of nowhere, whether it's a knee, whether it's a back, and now it's all for nothing. And I have to take 5 days off. There's still a lot of ways you can work around stuff. Like you said, if you're not going for a run, going for a walk. If you can't do a deadlift, put a vest on, do some squats. There's always kind of a something that you can do to counteract the thing that's bugging you. But a lot of that is just being smart and going like, okay, if I were to push this injury, I could potentially set myself back for 2 or 3 weeks, or I can work around this thing, still get a workout in, and still be functional for the next 3 days after that. But listening to those things that your body tells you is huge with people.
I think a lot of it happens mentally. It's kind of similar to when you're sick. Like if you just lay around home sick all day, it's worse because you're just laying around thinking about how home and
You feel
sick
like crap, and yeah, I want this to stop.
there's nothing going on, so all you're doing is thinking about how sick you are, right? But after, you're obviously sick and there's the day or two, depending on what illness you have, where you're just like, whatever. And depending on how bad it is, I can't get out of bed this day. But as you get able to move and creep out and get into life, it definitely helps, right? Like you get out into the world and you go, okay, this is way better than at home. It's kind of similar with working out or an injury and stuff. Like if you are able to move, doing it, if nothing else, takes your mind off of it, which just allows, time to pass where you feel uninjured or whatever in this example. But it's very similar. I think a lot of it is mindset, mental stuff. And yeah, being mindful of no setbacks is easy. I would have known I can't walk with this injury. I'm not going to walk with this injury. But since I knew I could walk pretty much damn near pain free, I went, well, then I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do, right? It's better than sitting at home because sitting actually is worse. So, and with food and nutrition it's the same thing as the water. It's the same thing as the workout. Is once it becomes the norm for you and how you feel and how you fuel your body, it's not hard to do it. You
don't want to go back. You're like,
Yeah.
It's like putting your hand on a stove and being like, that was uncomfortable. That hurt. You didn't like it, did you? And you're like,
right.
no, I want to keep my hand off the stove. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
You're not going to go right back to it and you're like, this sucks. I don't like the way this feels.
Yeah, it's the fastest shift. Like it was my birthday weekend last weekend. And yeah, I ate bad and drank beers. And it is very easy to get back on the straight and narrow yesterday and today. I actually look forward to it.
Yeah. Get it out of your system. You're like, okay.
I was just thinking about how I'm like, yeah, it's going to be nice Thursday. I'm going to feel good again Thursday when I have eaten clean for the next few days. And that makes it so much less hard. It's the focus. It's not focusing on everything I'm eliminating. It's focusing on everything I'm gaining. And focusing on and it makes it easier. And so when these days, the whole, where this all started, when the holidays come up, Halloween, we always get together Halloween with the kids and it's fun. And we have some beers and we walk around and there's candy and there's pizza or whatever. We end up, yes, it's Halloween. That's what you do. But that does not bleed into, all right, all bets are off until January 1st.
Yeah.
It's a quick, okay, now we have a month until Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving's great because that's real food.
It's actually pretty darn easy to eat clean on Thanksgiving. You can go protein, veggies. I'm having a little bit of carbs, and that's still pretty darn good.
It's a lot of food, right? And then you get the cookies and the pie and the whatever. Like there's that, but it's healthier for you than Halloween. Just smacking a bunch of candy and booze or however you celebrate. So, anyway, point is it's that time in between. If I went, well, from Halloween to Thanksgiving, I'm not going to pay attention to workouts or what I eat. I'd be sick. I'd be so anxious. I'd feel bad. And again, it's not anything on me. I don't mean that as like a go me or anything like that. I don't know what it is other than being conscious of it for such a long time, I think it's just obvious to feel bad. Like if you don't drink water for a long time, you feel bad. If you ever gotten
Yeah.
dehydrated, it's like a scary feeling. You're sick, you're all shaky, you're pale. It's not a good feeling. So like, kind of use that fear to be like, I got to get my water in today. I don't want that to happen again. And it's simple enough to do that. And the same with food. You go, I kind of don't feel good. I feel like I'm hungry all the time. I got these sugar cravings. My skin, I'm breaking out. I don't have energy. I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm gonna make sure mealtime comes around. There's a good element of protein and real food. Whole ingredients, real food. I'm getting green food. I'm eating the rainbow. I'm getting good real food. So yeah, it's just kind of a no-brainer after you do it, and there's not the focus on eliminating all the crap. It's the focus on getting back to what's positive in life. Makes it
Yeah.
way.
My other big thing that crazy week, bad week is to absolutely have no sugar. And I'm one of those people that if it's like a stressful day or a long day or I'm tired, that or you worked hard and you're like, okay, I want a little reward for the end of the day. And you sneak and you have an Oreo or you have a cookie or whatever, a piece of candy, and then the next day you're like, okay, I remembered how delicious that was. I want that good feeling again. Then you do it again the next day and again the next day. And then all of a sudden you get this habit of every day you're having Oreos when the kids go to bed, and you string this on for a week or two, and all of a sudden you gain a pound, 2 pounds. Um, but it's amazing, kind of like you said, I'll give you an example. So I haven't had any sugar in forever, except for on your birthday. But I've been fine. I've been like doing the challenge with our challengers, and Saturday last week we met my parents for Ella's soccer game. We went out to lunch, and then the kids got ice cream afterwards. And I was like, "You've been working hard all week. You've been eating clean all week. You can have some ice cream and be good." But then it was the same thing. I'm like, I don't really want to eat this just to feel like crap 30 minutes afterwards. So it's like you weigh your options and you end up eventually not missing those things where
Right.
you're like, I'm more prone to feeling good, or I want the feeling of feeling good rather than eating this and then feeling like garbage after. But I guarantee you, if I was on this sugar kick of more and more, I want it, it's good, it's good. It's very easy to go like, I've already eaten it the past 5 days. What's six?
For
And then, all
sure.
right, what's six? We got your birthday tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll have a cupcake, so that'll be seven. And then you're like,
For
Jesus Christ,
sure.
I've had a whole week of this nonstop. But for me, I know like having almost just like a template to go by that you can, a flexible template being that you can go, okay, these are the baseline requirements: 3 workouts, water, protein, don't miss 2 days in a row, don't eat any
Right.
sugar. If you can kind of have that as your template to go off of and go, these are the minimal requirements. I can certainly exceed this and go 4 or 5 workouts.
Yep.
You know, you can go bonkers. You can take it as far as you want. But if you don't kind of have a baseline set for yourself, then all of a sudden you're just kind of going willy-nilly. And you're like, one week I do 5 workouts, the next it's 1. Then the next week I do 6 workouts, the next week it's 0. And then
Yeah.
the next week it's 2 workouts. And then sometimes I get my water in, sometimes I
Yeah.
don't.
This
I
week
skipped
I
on protein except for dinner. And then it just becomes this hodgepodge
Yeah.
where you're not following anything. You're just basing it based on what the life throws at you. But if you have kind of this even keel baseline going at all times, okay, these are the minimals. I can certainly exceed that if I want to. And that's how you keep progressing forward, no matter good week and it's stress free and it's easy peasy. Great. You rocked it that week. But the next week, if it's a shitstorm that happens, you go, okay, I got to back this down a little bit. I got to hit my minimal objectives and kind of check the boxes, if you will. But as long as you can keep doing it, that's kind of the key.
Yeah, it's almost like that template puts you on a bar graph. It's like the line on a bar graph, right? That's the template. If you don't have the template, there's no progress at all. If you have the template, you will stick with it and make progress. You have peaks and valleys from there, you deviate from there, but you still have the line to build off of. If you don't have that template, there's structure, you have nothing. And what's so important, as I said earlier, and I can't just stress enough, is to have that template be based on feeling, to not think of that template as I'm doing this because I have to, I'm doing this, but I'm doing this because this is truly what makes me feel good, is the biggest hack to do it. It's not a template. This is why mine is different than yours. It's different than, the babysitter who's out with Rowan right now. It's yourself. You check in with yourself. You know what's going to make you feel good. If you're somebody who needs to run 10 miles a day to feel good, that's brutal. But that's you. That's what it is. And so it's like it's finding your template, but that makes it kind of an I almost said observation. That makes it a obligation. When you go, oh, okay, now I got to structure this template, and then I have to make sure I hit this template. It's not. The template is in you, right? We just need to be mindful enough to check in and to go, yeah, I don't need to eat this ice cream right now. What is the point? I don't really want it that much. I'm kind of just getting swept into it. It's going to ruin my next couple hours, if not day. There's no any, so why? Why would I subject myself to that, just because?
Yeah.
And that just frees up a lot of headspace around health and nutrition, because it's a very simple thing to go, I'm doing this to feel good. I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing it to stay on track. I'm not doing it to make sure that I am getting this or I'm not getting that. You just go, no, I got to do this to feel normal. If I don't do this, I'm going to feel bad. So,
And it takes away, I think, from the stress of perfection and having to be perfect every day. Or if you're like, oh my God, I had a bad day at work or stuff going on with the kids. Now I can't get in X, Y, and Z in my sixth workout and this, and my whole week is blowing up. And oh my God, I failed and I let myself down. It's like, no, you're going to have those days, but you still beat your benchmark or you're at your benchmark. Take those days as they come. But I think it takes away a lot of the stress and weight on your shoulders of having to be perfect every single day. When you kind of have, like we said, that baseline that you can always hit, then you might hit your baseline by Thursday or Friday and go, fantastic. I got in 3 workouts. I can squeeze in one on Saturday, or I know I got a party going on, but it takes away from that feeling of, oh my gosh, I don't want to mess this up. Oh my gosh, I had a bad day. Oh my gosh, traffic sucked. And it just kind of lets you breathe a little bit and go, okay, everything's going to be all right as long as I hit kind of these marks over the course of a week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's keeping it simple.
Agreed. What else, everybody? Should you need anything to help you get in shape, whether it's protein-based, like we talked, trying to get protein in with breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. I know it can be hard sometimes, especially in between meals. So if you need help, protein shakes are a great substitute, and ours taste delicious. One of my go-to hacks when I need a snack or I can't make a meal or I'm just like toting around with the kids, I will take a shaker bottle. I'll put a little scoop of dried oats in there, a scoop of protein powder in there, 1 small scoop, key is small, of peanut butter in there. Shake it all up. I got some protein, I got some fat, and I got a little bit of carbohydrates, and it keeps you even keel between meals. So steal that. You can have it for free. But I only use the Core 4 whey protein every single time because it tastes so darn good. But if you need anything, guys, protein, green supplement, if you know you're not getting your veggies in or nearly enough veggies, or you know that you're not eating them at all, it's a great substitute. You can wake up, have it first thing in the morning, hit your body with a bunch of vitamins, minerals on an empty stomach, that and some water and a little bit of coffee, and you feel like you're ready to run through a brick wall in the morning. But if you need anything, guys, core4supplements.com. If you listen or watch the podcast, if you check out and you use the code word podcast, you'll save 10% off your whole order. And like always, if you spend over $100 in the store, you get free shipping on all of it too. And you can use both of those coupons together. So if you want to do the 10% off and the free shipping, yes, you can combine them. and save a whole bunch of money. But we got everything. Everything tastes delicious. Everything is safe, approved by the FDA. So if you need help getting in shape, you don't got to worry about all the crap that other companies put in there, because ours is nice and squeaky clean for you. But that is all, people. Hopefully this helps you guys stay on track. I know we got Halloween kicking off next week, but if it's a crazy week for you, if the kids got Halloween parties, if you're having a Halloween party, use that template that we laid out. You can use it as your baseline, but again, make sure you set your baseline, and that'll keep you on track no matter what. Other than that, peoples, have a fantastic day, have a fantastic week, and we will see you all next week. Peace.
Bye-bye.